Have you ever noticed that even though you pronounce words according to the pinyin, you still sound different from a native speaker? Your Chinese pronunciation will get at least 30% better if you implement what I'm about to tell you right now. Hello everyone, I'm Lux and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about tone changing rules in Chinese. When speaking a certain Chinese word, the tone of a syllable can change depending on the syllable that comes after it. These tone changes are not reflected in the pinyin of a character, but only become apparent when the character is spoken aloud. Mandarin has several tone-changing rules, which are helpful to learn even for beginners. The first one is a well-known rule in spoken Chinese called the tone sandhi, third tone plus third tone rule. When two third tone syllables are pronounced in sequence, the first syllable changes to the second tone, resulting in second tone plus third tone instead of third tone plus third tone. For example, the phrase 你好 is pronounced as 你好 instead of 你好. It's important to note that when written, the original tone is retained. This rule is actually very commonly used in spoken Chinese, such as phrases like 可以 for alright and 了解 for understand. The third tone is actually quite unique compared to other tones in that it undergoes tone changing frequently. However, when a third tone character is used alone, there is typically no tone changing. When a third tone character is followed by any other tone, it becomes a falling tone with a pitch like this. This means that the latter half of the sound does not rise as it normally does when used alone. For example, the word 机场 means airport is pronounced as 机场 instead of 机场. Did you notice that? The final half of the sound did not rise as it would if the character 长 was pronounced alone. The second tone changing rule is related to a very frequently used character 不. 不 as an adverb means no, not. We use it to combine with many other words to indicate negation, such as 好 means good or okay when paired with the character 不 and becomes 不好. The meaning changes to no, not okay or bad. So, when and how does the tone of the character 不 change? When 不 is followed by a syllable in the first, second, or third tone, its tone doesn't change. On the other hand, when 不 is followed by a syllable in the fourth tone, it changes into the second tone. For instance, the phrase 不会 means to be unable to. Originally, both characters are in the fourth tone, but when combined, 不 changes into the second tone as 不会. The next tone-changing rule is associated with the character 一, which also indicates the number 1 in Chinese. If 一 is followed by a syllable in the first, second, or third tone, it changes to the fourth tone. For example, 一张 for a piece of, 一条 for a strip of, and 一种 for a type of. However, if 一 is followed by a syllable in the fourth tone, it changes to the second tone, as in 一定, which means sure or certainly. When 一 is used alone or as a number, its tone does not change. Therefore, when counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, its tone remains the same, right? Additionally, when used as an ordinal number, such as 第一, its tone also remains the same. Monday is the first day of the week and is essentially associated with the number, so it is pronounced 星期一, where the tone of 一 remains unchanged. Then let's talk about some tone-changing rules associated with the neutral tone. In case you didn't know, the neutral tone is the fifth tone in Mandarin Chinese, in addition to the four famous tones. The neutral tone is short and light and does not have a tone mark. The actual pronunciation of a neutral tone syllable depends upon the pitch of the syllable before it. Generally speaking, a neutral tone syllable is read in a lower pitch than the syllable before it if it follows a first tone, second tone, or fourth tone syllable. But when it follows a third tone syllable, it is actually read in a higher pitch than the syllable before it. So, what are some situations that need us to apply the neutral tone? One common situation where the neutral tone is applied is when pronouncing reduplicated syllables, where the second syllable is typically read in the neutral tone. For example, 星星 for stars, where the first and second characters are identical and the tone of the second character is changed to the neutral tone as 星星. This rule also applies to many other Chinese words that denote family relationships, since most of these words are reduplicated. That was already mentioned in the other video, so go check it out if you're interested. Another situation where the tone of a character needs to be changed is when pronouncing words with the suffixes 门, 子, 头. These suffixes are usually pronounced in the neutral tone when they are part of a word. For example, 门 is usually used after personal pronouns or nouns that indicate a person to express a plural form, such as in the word 我们, which means we. The suffix 子 can be used with a lot of words, such as 杯子 for cups or 房子 for houses. Here, 子 does not have any particular meaning, just to help complete the structure of the phrases. The suffix 头 can be combined with nouns, verbs, and adjectives to form new nouns, such as 枕头 for pillows. It can also be combined with the noun of locality to indicate location, which in most cases, these words are usually used in spoken Chinese. For example, 前头 for the front and 后头 for the back. Actually, in spoken Chinese, particularly in Mandarin Chinese, the neutral tone is always associated with tone changes, since it's not only a phonological phenomenon, but also a way to distinguish meanings. For example, the word 东西 refers to the directions east and west when pronounced as 东西. But when pronounced as 东西, with the neutral tone on the second character, it actually means things or stuff. The changing of the tones is actually super important for spoken Chinese, since it not only enhances the accuracy of your pronunciation, but also helps increase the efficiency of speaking. And speaking of improving your Chinese speaking skills, I have prepared a video that covers a lot of the current slang and trendy words you need to know. And I'll see you there!